Hi guys, welcome to my niece TV Zealots. Y'all, Superstition
Yeah.
season finale. I'm trying to compose myself because there are legit tears in the wheels of my eyes. Why do we have to?
It's too early. I need like 2 more episodes.
First of all, it's over. And second of all, first of all, we lost. You know what? We'll get into that. My name is Denise. And my party account is Mary. Mary, say hi.
Hi. We're emotional today. It is the season finale. I'm gonna say season finale because there will be a season 2. The season finale of Superstition. Like our video, share it, tell your friends about these crazy women that talk about Black people on television. It's great. You're going to love it. Subscribe to our channel. Keep up with some of the other shows that we're recapping. Look, I was glued to the screen the whole time this episode was on. Like, I was in it. A couple episodes ago, I think is still my favorite, but this is how you finale. This is how you do a finale. The Gifted tried to do like this whole 2-hour thing when it was really just a stretched out episode. This is an amazing finale. It kept me hooked. It was actually pretty satisfying with a little twinge that made me mad at the end. Like it had everything. So we start off. Calvin wakes up in the dirt. I knew he had been digging stuff up before they even kind of showed us. He had been digging in the dirt and is kind of sleepwalking. The ring is starting to take over. It's like it's slowly starting to control him. It's talking to him a lot more. He goes over to May's house.
Girl.
I can't.
I couldn't even. I was so upset. And I knew, I was like, no. First of all, Calvin wouldn't do this. He is obviously possessed.
Yeah.
But like, at first he's like, I can't sleep. All of this is going on. And May is like, I mean, you preaching to the choir. I can't sleep either. And so all of a sudden he's like, I know what we need. We need.
Yeah, I was
with the look in his eye, like, yeah, we need, this here release. And May was like, no, that is not going to happen. And he was like, oh, yes, it will. Like he cuffed her, pulling. I'm like, oh my God, please, God, no. Thankfully, Garvey walks in and he's like, oh, yeah, hi.
It's like, oh, I forgot
and it was super weird with Garvey too. Like everyone should know. Like,
yeah,
it's clear now. And so he leaves, and May is legit shook right along with all of us.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Mary.
Then we go to Russ's house. Garvey is doing a photo shoot with Russ and his guitar. And Russ is working on this entire database of all the different bad monsters, all the different infernals, and what they can do, what their powers are. I don't know. It's kind of like if you want to ask B something, but B's not there, you could just pull up this database. I'll be okay. Then we shoot over to Calvin breaking into the mayor's office. I thought he killed him, but he really just maimed him because he's going around getting ingredients for a recipe. And I thought that was very, that was a really cool way to go around it. I'm like, he's acting crazy. He's acting erratic. The ring is talking to him. All of a sudden, he'll be Calvin, but then it'll be somebody else. I thought that was really cool. And so May and Tilly are talking, and May is like, Calvin kind of isn't himself. He's acting weird. He attacked me. And she's like, is it PTSD? And, she's like, he has insomnia. He's severe mood swings. And Tilly's like, hold up. That sounds like possession. And she's like, oh, like Tilly was the MVP of this episode. Like,
yes, she was.
Yeah. And
even before the end, I was like,
Calvin shows up. May has to remind him what he had just done to her that morning. And she was kind of like, well, you wanted to, and I didn't. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so glad he felt real remorse, because I would have just been mad if he was like, sucks, He was like, what if Garvey hadn't walked in? She was like, I would have shot you. So please, let's not.
Right, we're good, yeah.
That part was actually really cool. And then Calvin's kind of going around saying goodbye to everybody when he realized that he's being possessed. He goes and has a beautiful father-son talk with Isaac. Isaac and Calvin, like Mario Van Peebles and Brad James, are so great together. Like, their scenes have been just beautiful. He's making a special set of nuke bullets that will kill infernals. And then he goes and sees Tilly, and he's like, you know what, you really are part of our family, tries to hug her. Tilly's trying to do like the infrared test on it. And she's like, oh, that's so wonderful. Don't touch. But I mean, great. Bro.
Right, she don't want none of them demons jumping off on her.
Oh, Lord. And so then, Calvin, goes to say bye to his mom. She's, talking with a client or whatever. He's just like, so he's off to the woods. And the mayor burst in, and he's like, all right, listen, I know you sent your son to try to kill me. He carved me up like a Thanksgiving turkey, blah, 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 blah. And Isaac is like, look, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead, son, okay? And then he's like, wait a minute. How did you get in the house? How did you get in the yard? Calvin has been digging up all the protections that are around the house this whole time.
All the wards, all of them. He's like, go check out our wards. Like, we are unprotected. We out here just sitting ducks.
I died. I was like, it's like when your child like just drops a whole chocolate cake and you can't do anything but laugh. Like, that was that moment. It's like, this was for the principal. Like, anyway,
I can't do
it. So Calvin tries to end his life. He tries to go nuclear on himself and shoot himself. It does not work because the dredge has him too hard. He goes back to the house. He gets the stuff out of the alchemy room. Isaac confronts him. They have an amazing hand-to-hand fight in the morgue. And he's like, just take the stuff with you, and he's like, there's one more thing I need. Some intestines. Like, guts him. He's like, I know you're going to regenerate, but let's just mess you up real good inside so it'll take you longer. That was so gross.
It really was.
I was
like, I don't care. You need to beat Calvin when you see him on sight. Like,
right.
Man.
I'm like, are they part white? I would have hit him. I'd have been like, I beat my children for less.
Right? But you know what? He was trying to just survive in that moment. Like, he was shook too. Like,
It's true. It's true. Oh, wait. Here comes the creepy part. If you thought that was gross, what he would do to his own father, Calvin calls his daughter, Garvey, and he's like, all right, you ready to run with the big kids? Meet me out here at this secluded area alone. That's not weird. Don't tell anyone, you know?
Oh my God. When she gets there, I was just like, he's like, have you been tainted? I'm sorry. What? Of all the things he could have asked his daughter, when I say I was not prepared, I was. And even though we all knew, she had to ask again, like, what? He's like, are you a virgin? And she's like, what? So he goes and then he waves his hand over and consents that she is pure.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That scene was just too creepy. Like, I'm laughing now, but my face in that moment.
Yeah. I mean, I was horrified. I could just imagine having that conversation with my father. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm good. No, no. You know what I mean?
And then her boo thing, oh my God, it was funny too because the guy who's like the old school rapper, the Inferno, he was like, yeah. She better be.
And why is his weapon a boombox? That's all.
I can't deal with it. I'm sorry, I can't. But anyway, moving right along. He needed to know if she was a virgin because he wants to use her in the spell to put the dredge back in his former body. Father God.
So now he has all the pieces. Need the blood of an infernal, the blood of an immortal, and the blood of a virgin. And they were like, oh, where's he gonna find one of those?
And immediately May was like, oh my God, because she knows her baby, you know.
Right.
Ooh, she's like, this is not a drill. Call me back, 911.
So Russ is really cool. Russ drops a pin, or Calvin drops the pin from Russ's phone. I can't remember. I think he managed to drop to show his location before Calvin took his phone.
Yeah.
So they are on their way over there. And once they get there, it's too late. The spell has worked and the dredge is back. And he calls out all of his other infernal friends that have been trapped in the ring. You've got the Supremes. You've got,
that's exactly what I said.
You got the creepy nurses from Silent Hill. You've got the football players from Glee's Thriller episode. Everybody's there. Everyone's there. and then there's the guy who's shooting people out of his third eye. Everybody's there. So everyone gets a chance to kind of show off their skill. Isaac is owning this. I mean, he was awesome. Garvey's using her power. She's kind of like Iron Manning it out of her hand, just, like a power burst. B is really doing a lot of stuff. I'm really excited, but they're not really turning a corner yet. James shows up.
Right when they got Calvin back. Like, Calvin has been knocked out all of this time. And he comes to, and he's like, oh man, we got to get up and fight. So, they start the shootout, to help. First of all, Isaac with the sword, like, yes, amen. That could have been the whole episode. Like, I'm just saying.
I saw a tweet on here earlier that they were like, we would love like a sideshow. It's like Isaac's history, just him having flashbacks of like all the different time periods. How amazing would that be? Just through the ages, through the eyes of Isaac. I would love that.
Agreed.
So they're not really making a turning point. It's like the dredge keeps calling out bad people and they kill it. And, like they're not getting all the way to the dredge until Tilly shows up in all her Wiccan powers.
I was like, I knew her Wiccan background was gonna come back to help us. Yes.
Right. Because Aunt Nancy had said something. It was like, do they know who you are? Remember when we first met Aunt Nancy?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't even know who Tilly really was. And I was like, wait a second. So this was...
Yes. She came in like, you will get thee beneath me, Satan.
Ooh, that's right. I mean, that's exactly what happened. And so it's her and her, the other wicked priestess, and then B and Garvey take the other two corners so they can make a diamond shape. And they've got the dredge in the middle, and they basically zoom everybody down. It creates a vortex. And they have to kind of hold on to each other so they won't be sucked out into an oblivion. Russ lets go. But when he comes back, he's cool. Like the hat's gone, But in the aftermath, B lands on a sword. The end. That's the end of the episode.
Like, I'm gonna need them to bring her back. Like, this better be a cliffhanger.
I hope it's a lie that this was a season finale and that there's another episode next week.
That would be amazing.
That would be necessary.
Agreed. But this, I mean, oh God.
Yeah. So, just saying. B better be there, season 2. I'm just I'm gonna burn it down. Okay, no, I mean, I'm fine.
Okay, guys. Well, I mean, that's it. Like, I'm really distraught. Like, man.
Yeah.
So, leave a comment. Let us know how you felt about it. Like, good, the bad. If you around here in tears like us, just type through the tears. It's okay.
It's a beautiful thing.
Right. Okay, guys. Well, we're hoping for a season 2, and we'll see you then with Superstition. Until then, have a great, however long that is. Bye.